Okay. Okay. So copyright. Um, a lot of things online are copyrighted. So this means somebody has the right to that material, right? We are so used to visiting different websites. We see videos, we see pictures, text, and we enjoy it, right? And it's free, right? You connect to the internet and you can see many images, you can watch movies, you can read books, right? So wonderful. Before you had to go to the library or you had to buy it, now it's free. But we forget that somebody created this material, right? So it could be free for consumption, it could be free for us, but you cannot reuse it, right? Some stuff is not free. For example, if you want to watch the latest movie, you have to go to a pirated site, right? You cannot go to YouTube and watch the latest Matrix version, right? It's not there. Or maybe you have to go to Netflix, right? So they are hiding it, so people cannot use it for free. But even let's say I go to some website. Just a second. Let's say we go to some website. You see, this is, I was looking for a picture roundhouse buttress, right? And these are the images I get. And one of the images is this. You see, they put Alamy. So if I create my own website, basically I need to purchase this image from the website. This is uh, their business. They sell pictures. Some websites sell short video clips, right? So, oh, I like this image. Okay, how much is it? Personal use, $19. Website, $49, right? And you might say, what? Well, if you don't like their prices, go someplace else and find it for cheap. This is how they earn money, right? If I say, oh, let's just copy it anyways. What about the words? It doesn't matter. Let's copy. It's copyrighted, right? So they can go to court and close your website. Same thing with the YouTube, right? If you take some stuff from YouTube and publish on your YouTube, oftentimes nothing happens, but sometimes YouTube can delete it, or especially if it's like music, video clips, it's copyrighted, right? Copyrighted, just like books, music, pictures, many things are copyrighted. So when we are online, we have to pay attention to that stuff, right? Because let's say you make your own website and you start copying pictures and text and videos from others, you could have a problem, right? They could not just tell you delete it, they could demand money. They would say, you used our pictures on your website, so you have to pay us $200. Otherwise, we'll go to court, right? Again, you might say, oh, I'm in Thailand and they're in Norway. So what? But uh, they will go to court. They will write down your information. For example, next time you fly to Europe, maybe they will stop you there and they will demand money from you. You never know how serious they are, right? What they want from you. So you have to be very careful. Uh, and some countries cooperate. You might say, I never go to Norway, but what if you go to another country and they have some agreement with Norway, right? And they will arrest you because of $200? Who knows, right? They would say, yes, the picture was $200, but we had to go to court, we had to go to police, we had to do this, we had to do that, so it's 1,000 euros now. You have to pay. What? It was just so the lesson is be careful, right? If you really need a picture, don't, try to find a website that has free pictures, right? It's really free. There's no copyright. Copyright free music, copyright free, right? Uh, uh, just a second. Again, it depends how you use it. Uh, if you use it in your coffee shop is earning money, is earning profit for you, right? That's one thing. But if I'm a teacher and I'm teaching it and I use this image just to show, it's a different thing, right? I'm not using it for personal gain. I'm using it for teaching. Okay, just a second. Teachers use copyright materials to teach students. There's many, and law protects me, right? It means some cases under certain conditions, teachers and students can use protected content, right? I can go on Facebook, on YouTube and show you something. Just a second. Uh, we all know what is a cover, right? Cover album, right? So now in Thailand, police is very serious about copyrighted stuff. So when you go to a coffee shop in Thailand, they cannot play music off YouTube, right? They cannot open Michael Jackson stuff and play it, right? They are playing covers that it's a Michael Jackson song but sung by a different person. And they're very careful because police in Thailand became very serious about that, right? So again, copyrighted stuff cover. Just a second. I'm looking for. There's such a thing as royalty free. Okay, just a second. Also, as students, right? You have to be careful not to plagiarize, right? If I'd ask you to write a paper and then you just go and copy it from a website, right? You have you could have several issues. It's you are dishonest at the university and also you're stealing, right? I'm not stealing. Yeah, but somebody was spending time and writing this article, making a video, taking pictures, and you just use it, right? Write your own. It takes time, right? Create your own stuff. Okay. So, and most countries have copyright agreement. Just a second, moment. Um, so, if you live in Thailand and you have a website in Thailand, Thailand is part of the convention of the agreement between different countries. So if somebody steals it in America, it's the same as if they steal it in Thailand, right? They use your material. Of course, it's hard to track everyone who is using stuff. YouTube, of course, won't let others publish your music or your movies. Um, right? But it's hard to track. But if you are a small coffee shop, you have a website, maybe nobody will touch your website. But if you download music from the internet and start playing, police could come to your place. Okay, fair use. Okay, just a second. Fair use copyright. What is fair use? This is the image fair use. It's of course it's an American concept. Maybe it doesn't work in your country. Fair use is a doctrine in United States law that permits limited use of copyrighted material without having to first acquire permission from the copyright holder. Fair use is one of the limitations. Okay. We use it for public, right? Right. So, for example, if you play the whole Michael Jackson song, it's one thing. But if you are teaching and you use a little bit of it to when you, let's say you do a presentation about Michael Jackson and you cut his song to it was 5 minutes, you cut it to 1 minute as part of your presentation. It's okay. Nobody can punish you for that, right? Because you're not doing it for profit. But if you open a coffee shop and you want people to come to your coffee shop and you play his music, it means you are breaking the copyright law because somebody holds the rights to this music, right? There's fair use. Also, just a second. Let's say you need a textbook. Again, if you download it from the internet, it's one thing. Somebody published this book and now you are just using it. But there's many websites that have free textbooks like this open textbook library. You can download textbooks on any subject and it's free. You can print it. I don't think you can sell it, right? But it's free. So there's no copyright here. So you must understand that internet is like example when you go to your kitchen, you open your tap. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll show you images. You go to your kitchen, you open your tap, right? This is called tap faucet, and you get water. So this pipe is used to transport water, right, from the lake, from underground to your glass for drinking, right? Same thing when you go to the internet. Internet is like a pipe. Think about a pipe with information, music, text, pictures, videos, phone calls, right? We share, this is information, right? And a lot of this information is copyrighted. It's okay to use it for personal, right? You open this music and you listen. If they allow it, okay, great. If they want you to pay like Spotify, right? Or Amazon Music, you need to pay money to listen. You pay money for yourself. But if you open a coffee shop, you cannot play that music, right? Um, you might ask, uh, party, if I have a party in my house, mm, depends. If it's for your friends only, yes, it's free. But if you have a party and then you charge people, it's another thing, right? So everything is covered by law, so you have to be careful. Same thing with websites. When you make a website, Many things are free, but some things are not. Also, it depends on your company. What is your company? Are you a university? It's one thing. Or are you a coffee shop? Right? It's another thing. So you have to be very careful what information you put. Text, you know. Maybe you can go Wikipedia. Okay, you can go to Wikipedia, no problem. But if you go to some uh, another website and you copy their text, maybe they will not like it, and maybe they have special service to make sure nobody is using their text, right? So you have to be careful because you could be breaking the law, right? Same thing. Uh, let's say pirated movies, right? When there's many websites. When you go to that website, okay, maybe you break the law, you watch it. But if you download it, it's worse. If you download it and send it to another person, it's even worse. You're taking something and then you're distributing, right? So you could have a problem, right? Yeah, I think in France they started to disconnect internet to those who use pirated movies. Okay, just a second, if I remember correctly. Again, every country is different. Of course, court in countries they will attack websites, right? But oftentimes the sites are not in uh, your country. So maybe the website is in another country. It's not even in France. But government in France can make sure that people who are in France cannot open those movies. Okay, just a second. Film and TV piracy fell in France in 2017, but still cost country 1.2 billion euros. The pirating of audio-visual content dipped in France in 17, but still cost a lot of money in lost tax revenue and industry earnings. So instead of going to the movies, people watch it at home, right? For free. The study found that the number of people accessing illegal audiovisual content in France each month fell by 8%. Uh, okay. Countries wanted to have tax earning, right? Every time you go to the movies, you buy tickets. Same thing when you go to Netflix, right? You spend money. When you do it for free, it's great for you, but the country and the people who made the movie don't earn anything. Illegal consumption, right? So basically, even when you go to some website and watch it for free, you are breaking the law. Uh, so every year, countries trying to close different websites where you can watch it for free. Peer-to-peer piracy, like I download it and send it to you. Kodi box, right? It's like something you download on your computer and you can watch stuff there. Films, most popular content for pirates, music, comedy, popular, right? Netflix, you right? Netflix became cheaper, so people prefer to pay a little bit to Netflix. How to fight piracy. Okay, search engineer, so you cannot search it on Google, right? You will type on Google free movie and Google will not give you the website. If you don't have the website, how can you find it, right? So you need to have some kind of a different search. Okay, and then another topic is this, before I forget. Just a second. Also, we need to educate people about cybercrime, ethics, right? So basically, the thing is, if all of us will watch stuff for free, then people who make movies, they will say, we're not earning anything, we cannot pay actors, so we'll not make anything again. This is how it works. And of course, just a second. France, just a second. The law changes all the time. Hosting unauthorized stream is illegal. While watching, so the law is like this. Again, every country is different. I cannot say that China and Thailand and France is the same. But while watching an unauthorized stream is illegal, hosting one is legal. Hosting one is not, and much more likely to draw attention from copyright holders. So if you go on some website and they have a movie, you can watch it. No one can arrest you for that, right? You're just watching it. But people who put it on that computer and send it to everyone, they are really breaking the law, you know? Those who watch, they are just maybe have poor ethics, right? They want to watch something for free. But those who send it, it's more serious. You're streaming, okay? No, I mean, you're watching. Streaming is those who are sending it. Again, every country is different. This one says, just a second. Um it's complicated. Torrenting or downloading copyrighted material without permission is flat out illegal and much more serious crime. Okay? Uh, so what is downloading? We'll understand downloading. What is a torrent? Torrent. Torrenting is an act of downloading or uploading files through BitTorrent network, right? It's a special website that finds people who have that movie. Maybe you have it, you give it to them. Maybe they have it, they give it to you. Torrenting, right? So if you go to some website and you download it through a torrent, torrenting, or download the movie itself, or give it to someone else, it's illegal. So watching it is one thing, downloading it onto your computer is different. Okay. If you are caught illegally streaming videos online, you could face a fine of $750 or more, right? Let's say you have this program on your computer called Bit BitTorrent, and you download a movie, right? And then somebody asks you, "Could I have that movie from you?" You say, "Okay, sure." So downloading it is bad, but if you're giving it to others, it's even worse, right? and then American police could like charge you, right, if they know your name, and then you go to Europe and they will say that time you shared that movie, so you have to pay a fine, right? So be careful. And another one, dark web. What is dark web? When we go online, okay. When we go online, we search for something. For example, I like, okay, let's make an example. Okay, here, Google. I write latest Matrix movie. When I type this, I will see Wikipedia, I will see some websites, right? Basic stuff, good stuff. I mean, legal. It's legal, right? I don't see the movie itself. So this is here. This is the surface of the web. Everything is legal. Google will never give you, maybe will not give you a lot of options for downloading the movie. So in the algorithm, they programmed it in such a way that you cannot find that movie. So you need to use something else to find the website. The website is there someplace where they have the free movie, but Google will not find it. Okay? It's the illegal stuff. Okay? So again, surface web, something that is easy to find for everyone. Wikipedia, Google, Facebook, right? We write facebook.com. But where do you find bad stuff or illegal stuff? What you write illegalmovies.com? No. Right? So this is surface web. Deeper web, medical records, subscription information, government resources, legal documents, financial records, scientific reports. So it's not easy to find it, right? A lot of stuff is online, but how to find it through Google? Google cannot find everything, so you need a special search engine to uh, find some documents, right? These documents. Remember when you use okay, just a second. Okay, just a second. Just a second. Um, this why? Just a moment. Many organizations have their websites, right? Let's say we have a website. Just a second. Just a moment. I'm looking for that thing where it asks you. Just a second. Okay, just a second. this setting. So again, I go to my website. Okay, this is my website, right? Um, here, publish settings. Request public search engines not to display my site. This is what I'm looking for, right? Let's say you're a hospital. You have a lot of data online, right? For your hospital is online, but you don't want Google to show to people your folders, right? Same thing here. I can open my website only to people within Rajapat University with Google, right? So if you are from outside of Rajapat University, you cannot access my website. So you're protected even if, but there's another one. I request public engines not to display my site, right? So my website is hidden, right? It's not uh again. I'm on deep web, right? I'm on not on the surface. If you don't know the website, the address of my website, you cannot find it, right? And many things are like this, right? It's private. It's on the internet, but it's invisible. Dark web, private communication, let's say we sell drugs, we sell guns, we are terrorists, right? We're also using the internet, but we cannot go on Facebook, right, and discuss it. We have some secret methods. No one can find us. That's how it works. Surface web is only 4%, deep web 96%. What is Tor? Okay, Tor is and VPN. Okay, so what is Tor? And it's some software that allows anonymous communication. It directs it through some network to hide our location, right? So who developed it? History. So American government developed it to help uh, people fight their governments, but now anyone can use it, whatever. The core principle of Tor onion routing was developed mid-1990s by United States Naval Research Laboratory employees. Right? So first they developed it for some countries like you live in Africa, you want to fight your government. Okay, great. Uh, but now terrorists are using it. So if you're using it, American government will like pay attention to you why you're using it. Okay, just a second. Tor enables its users to surf the internet, chat, and send instant messages anonymously, and it uses a wide variety of people for both illicit and illicit, legal and illegal purposes. Tor has, for example, been used by criminal enterprises. Um, Okay, so dark corner of the web, right? So gambling, guns, chat, abuse, books, directory, blog, pornography, housing, hacking, search, anonymity, forum, counterfeit, whistleblower. Like you see something going on and you want to report to police, but you're afraid that police will tell the criminals that you did it, so you can use that. Mail, wiki, Bitcoin, fraud. Okay. There's so many topics. Okay. VPN. Okay, what is a VPN? VPN, virtual private network, extends a private network across public network, enables users to send and receive data across a shared public networks as if their computer devices were directly connected to the private network. So um, the benefits of VPN include increased functionality, security management of the private network. It provides access to resources that are inaccessible on the public network and typically used for remote workers. So, for example, um, just a second, I will find VPN. So, let's say HQ headquarters. So for or university, right? And some people, different offices, different people from home need to connect to this university or to this office. We cannot allow anyone to connect because it's not secure. So we use a VPN to connect there. So basically, this is the VPN, or you connecting to the internet. You are connecting to your company. Only you, others cannot. Also, VPN is used sometimes when you connect to, let's say, right now, if you are in Russia, you cannot connect to Ukrainian website. If you're from Ukraine, you cannot connect to Russia because of your IP. They know you're from that country. But you can do the settings in your computer so that the when you connect to a website in Russia and you're from Ukraine, they will think you're in Thailand. It will change your VPN. Okay, just a second. I will show you. Uh, Opera. There's such a thing as called Opera browser. Okay, so instead of using Google Chrome, we can use Opera browser. Download Opera. Okay, then so this is the VPN. Establishing point-to-point connection. By the way, you can also use VPN on your smartphone if you work for some company. Okay, another thing. Wiki. What is a wiki? Wiki is a hypertext publication um, edited and managed by its own audience directly. Typical wiki contains multiple pages for the subject to scope the project. So like Wikipedia, right? Anyone can edit it. Very difficult. I tried it to edit. But basically that's what it is. Anyone can write an article in theory. Okay. Tor. What is a Tor again? Let's see. Tor. Even if you don't use programs like that, it's useful to know, right? Tor network. So you might say, but I don't do anything bad. But we might, sometimes it's useful to understand how things work, right? Um, like I said, some people see crime, but they're afraid to tell the police, to report to the police because they think police might be working with criminals, but they want to report it to the government. So to hide their anonymity, they do it. So IP, what is IP address? Unique address that identifies a device, right? Every computer, when you connect to the internet, has an IP address. Then they can find you. IP address. You can my IP address. Okay, let's see what's my IP address. So if we copy this, let's say IP address location. Just a second. Just a moment. When you do too many things, you open too many applications, your computer could slow down. Just a second. Just a moment. Just a moment. Okay, just a second. Okay. So let's see how it works. IP address. It's called geolocation of the IP address. Okay. Enter your IP address. So we enter this. So it's not secret. Just a second. Okay. So it says, okay. It says in Bangkok, but it's incorrect. I'm not in Bangkok. But maybe my internet is there. So, but this is a public service. Of course, police and government have better service. And okay, let's try again. Just a second. Just a moment. But it's correct. It's AIS fiber, right? So I'm connected through AIS company. Okay, so this is the Opera. Okay, just a second. I think I have too many things opened, and that's why there's some problems. Just a moment. So this is Opera. Okay. Again, I search my IP address. Again, it shows I'm in. Also, your phones not only have IP address inside your phone. There's a email number, and this every phone has a different number. So if you do something illegal from your phone, they not only know where it was done, but what phone it is, and then they can find out the number of that phone and the internal number, and then they will go through the database and find uh, who bought it. Just a second. Okay, it's searching in because you see it knows I'm in Thailand, so it's searching in Thailand. Just a second. If you open your uh, phone, you will see your email number. It's an 8-digit number, so the government will know who you are. Okay, let's do again. My IP. Okay, and then if I'm here, if I'm in, okay, I need to change the settings. Just a moment. If I turn on VPN, okay, I will be connected as if I'm not in Thailand. Okay, let's try. You see, I'm using a VPN, so my IP address. So now Oh, I'm in Mexico. You see, I changed my IP address. So now computers think I'm from Mexico. Now I have the IP address from Mexico. Okay. So this is another thing that is used because, like I said, if you live in Russia, maybe you cannot open Ukrainian websites. If you are in Ukraine, you cannot open Russian websites. If I'm in Thailand, I cannot open Russian websites, etc. So this is a, but this is a free service, so it's not good, but this is how it works. It's called VPN. So now the computers think I'm, but you need to be using Opera. So if I'm connected through Opera, it looks like I'm in Mexico. It will be slower because now the traffic kind of goes through Mexico. Okay. Okay. It, and you can choose yourself, or you can let the computer choose the location. Computer chose optimal location for me in Mexico. Okay, now I turn it off. Okay, this is VPN. Close window. Okay, and let's continue dark web. Okay, just a second. You see, I opened too many windows, and that's why it's dark web. Dark web. Dark web is the World Wide Web content that exists on darknet overlay networks that use the internet but require specific software configuration authorization to access. Through the dark web, private computer networks can communicate and conduct business anonymously without divulging identifying information, such as user's location. Dark web forms a small part of deep web. It's not, you see, we have dark web and then there's deep web. And what is deep web? Okay, so search engines don't go into deep web or dark web, right? Because you need specific permission. When you search for things on Google, it gives you stuff and you can open it. But why would I need websites where you cannot access without specific keys, right? And then another thing, cryptocurrency. It's a digital currency designed to work as a medium of exchange. Um, so there's a special calculation going on, right? Uh, and then just a second. We'll watch videos on YouTube, but there's a thing called Bastion. So this is alternative to YouTube, and it works just like Bitcoin. Um, so how does it work? Okay. So anything you post is the video is stored in multiple locations. It's impossible to delete it. Okay, and about it. Okay. You see, Google doesn't like it, so it will not give me too much information about it. PocketNet. Okay, just a second. a second. Just a moment. Let's listen to the explanation just a moment.
Sorry, teacher, I can't hear voice from video.
And please, if you enjoyed my videos, give them a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content, please
Sorry,
subscribe to
it's
the
about
channel.
PocketNet,
There's
okay?
a, again, like I've mentioned, there's a podcast, the Tech Left podcast. You can find that on the platforms of Google, Apple, Stitcher. You can subscribe through there. It's audio only. And I think this will be released as audio only on the podcast platforms, as well as a video. Now this will be video here, so you can watch the video since I've got myself in front of the camera. But let's begin. I'm going to be referring to some notes that I made because I just can't remember everything about this new platform. So PocketNet is currently in beta mode. I'm just looking at it right now. I have it up here and I'm currently logged in. So I'm going to also share some screenshots so you can see what
So
it
it's
looks
3 years
like,
ago now. It's called
as well
Bastion.
as when you visit the web page and all that. I'll have a link in the description. So if you want to check out PocketNet, please use the link. The only thing it'll give me is a little number there that'll show me how many people have joined through my link. That's all. So I would appreciate if you guys want to try it. You should try it and use that link. Now, what I find great about PocketNet, we're just going to get right into it, is that it's a decentralized platform. It's a platform for people to connect, publish, and discuss content on the internet. So it's decentralized. There's no central server. There's no corporation behind it. And it's a social platform based on the blockchain. And from what I read, it's based on Bitcoin, but I'm not going to get that technical. What you could do is visit the website, read the white papers, and see how all that works. I have looked over the white papers, and the first half I can understand how it works, how you get rewarded. The second half is how the rewards are calculated and created, and how much can be created. And I'm just not going to get into that. But again, and I'm just sharing this platform with everyone. So if you want to jump aboard and try it out, I would encourage you to do that. Another feature about this platform is censorship. That it is self-policing. There's no one going to be, if someone doesn't, sorry, if if we're talking about Twitter shadow banning, Facebook shadow banning people for posting stuff, that doesn't exist here. If someone comes across a post and they don't like it, they can just vote it down and they won't see it again. At least that's what I've heard and read from my findings. Okay, so if one day some organization out there wants to shut down PocketNet, they can't, because there's two ways to access it. So there is no central way, so you can't shut down that single server and shut down the platform. It is operated by many nodes that are all over the world. They can they can shut down the web portion of it. So if you wanted to access PocketNet through a web page, you'll have a hard time getting there and sharing content and stuff. The second way to access PocketNet is through at the moment, as of this recording, mid-March 2019, is the PocketNet application. It's Windows based. You install it. If for some reason someone is trying to take down PocketNet trying to shut them down, censor it, or whatever, using from what I understand, using the application, you'll still be able to access PocketNet uh, because it uses a proxy server, so it won't use uh, anything external. It'll just connect to the nodes and you'll be on there reading and sharing and all that. Another thing about this website is that you can earn Pocket Coin, which is the token currency for this platform, and that currency is used to advertise. So I'm not going to get in much about the advertising, but from what I've read, an ad sorry, again, I'm going through some notes here. An ad buyer creates an ad and selects from a list of creators that they want to publish that ad on. And so what happens is they send out the request with the ad, and then the creator will decide if they want to have that ad on their page. And then if they do agree to it, they approve it, transaction's complete, they get the pocket coin, and the person gets their advertisement on that person's page. So you can earn a currency on this platform. Okay, and there is other ways of earning it as well. There's if you're a content creator, you can earn Pocket Coin through likes and posting comments. And if you run a node, you can also earn Pocket Coin as well. So there's three groups that will earn Pocket Coin. It's the the creators of the content, the people.
So basically what he says is, um, this is the old way. This is YouTube, right? This is me, this is you. So I post a video. If YouTube doesn't like it, they will delete it. And you can, and we all go to the center. We all go to the center, and then people on YouTube decide, oh, this video okay, this video not okay. I cannot directly send it to you. You cannot watch it from me, right? This is the PocketNet. Now they changed their name to Bastion. This is their website called Bastion. So there's no control, right? It's all everywhere. Um, to watch it is free, but if you want to post videos, you need to purchase membership, or somebody should invite you, those who are already members. And if people like your videos, you earn coins, and people can give you coins. It's like Bitcoin, kind of. Mm, this is the system. Okay, and then this website, duck go. This is a search engine, and you might say, I have Google, why do I need this? They don't, it's encrypted, they don't know what you're searching for, and they give you results that you don't see on Google. So okay, so you can compare, and you will see that, okay, we search here, same exact phrase, and you will see that the results are different. Sorry. The results will be different, right? Even Wikipedia doesn't have an article about them because they're in competition with YouTube. Okay, so you can search more about this thing. I'm just informing you that it's there, right? Because the problem with YouTube is, like I told you in the last video, YouTube is in America. YouTube is an American company. They need to follow American laws, right? What if your country has some problems with America, and then YouTube will, because it's an American company, they will please America, right? So then you cannot publish anything. You cannot publish a different point of view. This is the problem. And YouTube will only publish one point of view, right? So mm, this is the thing. Internet is an opportunity for us to see many points of view, but when you get one point of view, it's not good. So there's other platforms now available, like Bastion, many topics, right? So this is nothing like bad. Or, it's not about pornography or anything like that. It's about different points of view on things, right? Um, that's why it was created. Like in America, there were people who were supporting Trump, people who didn't like him, and then Twitter and YouTube started deleting everything. So if you were pro-Trump, they were deleting everything, right? This is not good because people need to have different points of view to make up their own minds. Okay, just a second, please. Just a moment. Just a moment. So, any questions, any comments on what I just told you? Any comments, any questions? Have you tried using it? You see many people in China, students, right? They need to access Google stuff for education, but the government of China doesn't allow it. But VPN is functioning in China, so they connect through VPN. So the computer network thinks that it's another country, right? And they can open it. So they kind of trick the computer system. Most people don't know how to use it, so they don't use it. But students, when they need it, they can use it, but the speed is slower. This is one solution. So again, internet first. On the internet, most of the people were like people who love computers, and they thought, oh, we have freedom, we can do whatever because it's the internet. But now it's all done through big companies and governments and laws. So there's basically it's the same thing. There's more choices, but it's all controlled by big companies, big governments. So if people want to have choice of information, they need to understand how it works. Okay, and again, I'm not talking about illegal stuff like I mentioned in our last lecture. I'm talking about basic things. Okay, because you need to understand that Facebook, for example, is also an American company. And what if tomorrow Facebook and the government of Thailand will have an argument, and then the government of Thailand will say, fine, get out, and there will be no more Facebook in Thailand. So how will you communicate with your friends, right? Oh, we can communicate through line. What if line will get out, right? How will you communicate with your friends? Do you even know their phone numbers, right? So um, you need to understand how the internet functions, right? Again, I'm not saying you should not listen to your government. I'm saying that if you rely too much on one company like Facebook for everything, and then suddenly Facebook is not working, do you have another company? Do you have some backup plan, right? How you can connect to the internet? Example, same with Russia. Well, in China, Facebook has not been working for a long time, so Chinese people are okay. But in Russia, it stopped working last month. So for many, it was a shock. Imagine if you're a company, right? Imagine if all your communication is through Gmail, and then you're thinking, what if Gmail will be closed? So how will we do our business, right? We're in Russia, but it's an American company. China is very self-sufficient, right? So when you live in China, there's Chinese companies that have email, that give you chatting, video, everything. But when you live in, like, let's say Thailand or China, sorry, if you live in Thailand or Russia or Ukraine, you get all your stuff from foreign companies. Facebook, Gmail, Google. So if suddenly your government and that company or the host country or the US have some argument, then you can no longer use that service. Will you be able to use it through VPN or not at all? Is there a local server, local company? Is there another company? So maybe Thai people will be able to use Chinese products and Russian people will be able to use also Chinese. How does it work? I don't know, but we must understand that anything could happen and it could stop working. So we must understand ways to solve it for our needs, right? If you are running a business or trying to receive education, okay? So anyone wants to say anything? Just a second. Okay. So many people live in the house, right? And then they go to the kitchen. Just a second. In the morning, they turn on the tap and they have water, right? And then what? And they never even think where this water is coming from and where it's going after, right? Because it's working. And what if one day there's no water, right? How can you wash your face? How can you go to the toilet, right? Brush your teeth. Big problem. We're so used that it's working. 100 years ago, you had to go to the garden and bring water, right? It was difficult. Now it's all so easy and comfortable. But if one day it breaks down, will you be able to go to the garden? Do you have a garden, right? Same thing with the internet. When I was a child, there was no internet, right? Um, I first saw internet when I was maybe 15, right? And it was slow, just text and pictures, but it was exciting. And most of you grew up with internet, and it's always been there for you, right? Ever since you were children. And what if one day it's not working? Or it's working, but it's only within your country. Yes, we have internet, but it's only within Thailand. Okay, you can do Lazada, you can do Shopee, but you go to Facebook, doesn't work, Line doesn't work, Google doesn't work, right? How will your life change? So we must understand how it works, how to solve problems, what is IP address. We also must be following laws like copyright laws, right? Don't steal stuff from other people, and also don't think that if you're sitting at home, nobody knows you, right? If you break the law, government can find you. Oh, I was using, teacher Philip told me about Tor and VPN, I can hide. Well, if this stuff is available, then it's not strong. Do you understand? If if anyone can download it and install it and start using it, don't think it's very good, right? Like we close the door, we use a lock, right? But if somebody really wants to open our door, they will do it, right? This is just against normal thieves. Same thing. If government wants to find you for something that you do illegally, they will do it. So nothing will help you, nothing that you can download from Google. So please understand it. Be safe. Please understand that if you break laws online, it will have same consequences as if you break laws offline. So VPN we can use in some circumstances, right? Like students in China use to access homework, right? Again, they're not breaking any law, they're just trying to attend the university, right? Online. But if they start doing something illegal prohibited by China, then government will find them very quickly, right? So be careful, please understand. Some things are allowed, some things are prohibited, some things are in the gray area, right? It's not prohibited, but it's not allowed. So you can, so it's called gray area. Just a second. So, for example, something is illegal, you cannot do it. Something is legal, you are allowed to do it. But something is in between, right? It's not illegal, but it's not exactly legal. So you must think, right? Can I do it? Can I not do it? There's also such thing as ethics, right? Like watching movies online for free. Government will not come to your door. Stop watching that movie, right? You're not downloading it, you're just watching it. It's the problem of those who put it on the server. They break the law. When you're just watching it, you're not downloading it. You're not breaking laws, but it's the ethical question, right? Every time you watch it for free, actors and the companies don't earn money. So next time they will not make anything for you because who wants to do something for free, right? So this is the thing. We have law, cannot do this. right? Law basically talks what you cannot do. Law doesn't mention what you can do. So if law doesn't prohibit it, it means it's allowed. But there's such a thing as ethics. You must decide what is good, what is bad, right? Some people, for some people it's easy, others they're not sure what is good, what is bad, but that's the problem of their parents, right? Not the law, ethics. Like you go online and you start writing bad stuff, right? Law cannot stop you, but it's bad. You're writing something bad, right? You're writing all people from Mongolia are bad. They're so bad, I hate them, right? No, nobody can stop you from writing it. It's your opinion, but ethics, right? Why you maybe you had one bad experience with people from Mongolia, but it doesn't mean all people from Mongolia are bad, right? So this is your ethics. It is inside of you. You must understand what is bad, what is good. And it's one thing if you tell somebody outside, oh, Mongolians are bad. It's one thing. But when you go online on Facebook and start writing and you spread it to thousands of people, right? It's you must understand what you're doing. So this is the question of ethics. Many things that we do online is ethical. Just a second. Just a moment, please. I have a message from the office. Just a moment, please. Give me 5 minutes. Just a second. Okay, so internet is a wonderful tool. It gives us access to information, but there's different types of information. Some is allowed by the government, some is prohibited by the government, right? So allowed, legal. Some information is illegal, prohibited, like we discussed last lecture. Something is in the gray area. You need to decide yourselves. Ethics. It is about uh, ethics. Is it uh, some like bad jokes online, right? Some bad like people go and do pranks. You know, it's funny, but for you. But what about those who are pranked, right? Um, some stuff which is like saying that all Mongolians are bad, all this are bad. It's you need to think for yourselves, right? Do you have understanding what is good and what is bad, right? This is um, the thing about the internet. Some things are prohibited by the government, um, and there's a law, right? Like, for example, child pornography, right? It's not easy to find, and it's even if you see it, you shouldn't touch it because there's a law that can uh, then punish you for that. Some things, like, yeah, again, I said, students live in China and they have a hard time accessing, information for studies. So they have no other choice but to use VPN, right? Because otherwise they cannot study. So again, government is not prohibiting that. It's just difficult. So they have a option of using VPN. So um, people who use internet should be adults. What I mean is they, you decide for yourselves, right? What you adults in a sense, not that they are old, but in the sense that they need to decide for themselves what is good and what is bad. Many people when you watch TV, they give you all the information, but online you decide what you want to watch. So you decide what is good, what is not. Many people have internet addiction, right? They cannot stop, especially children. Cartoons, stupid stuff, right? Like, look at these children. Why do they need that? Why they don't go and play with each other? What are they looking at? Oh, it's educational. Well, look at me. I grew up, I only saw internet when I was 15. So what? I didn't develop enough, right? So don't believe those who say internet will help development of kids. Kids should run around and play. Think about Steve Jobs. He grew up without computers and yet he made computers, right? So how is it possible? Children don't need internet. Children don't need computers. They need to be kids, run around, play, have fun, read books. This is how they will develop. This is not necessary. It's overload. And also, uh, they're not they're not reading books, so they're just watching cartoons nonstop. So it's addiction, right? So people who use computers need to be. You see, children, they cannot decide how much, when to stop. We need to be able to decide for them, right? And we need to be able to decide for ourselves how much time do you spend online, And what are you doing there? So instead of doing something like having a good hobby, they're just online non-stop. How many Thai students I ask them, what is your hobby? Play Facebook. And you play Facebook. Like this is your hobby? You just sit all day and look into the screen and scroll pictures. This is your hobby. This is a waste of time. You know? Your grandparents, what were they doing? They were outside, right? Playing games, talking to people, and you are sitting and looking at Facebook pictures all day long. This is useless, right? Internet has so much potential. Books, education, right? You can learn new things. But if you're just sitting and looking at pictures, it's a bad thing. Like eating, right? Right? When you eat, it's necessary, right? We all must eat food. But if you eat non-stop, this is bad, right? Same thing with the internet. If there's too much internet and it's not useful, it's just entertainment, some looking at pictures, uh, you must understand it's bad. Okay. Okay, any questions before I stop? Okay, so please, I will send you the materials I was using today. Some of it will be on your final exam, so please review it. I will post your homework a bit later. I need to prepare it. So next class is last class. So please, if you have any questions, you can prepare your questions. I will answer your questions. Okay? Okay. So I will stop now.